The first car I will be introducing to you will be Koenig's 1:1. This car has been built on the HP to kg curve. Weight ratio is an astonishing 1:1. This is the dream equation. Previously, a lot of individuals thought it was impossible, and now the impossible has become possible. When it comes to fully road legal and usable hypercars, the 1:1 is the first homologated production car in the world with 1 megawatt of power, thereby making it the world's first series produced mega car ever made like that. Koenigsegg is the only car to be able to build their car with the same ratio as the weight of it. The second car we'll be showing will be the Hennessy Venom GT. This company was joking about with some random ideas. They thought they would copy the look from the Lotus Exceed. Then they thought that they will copy the engine layout from a Ford GT. The engine that's in this car is a twin-turbo V8. It's basically a stretched Lotus Exceed with an engine that's pushing well over 1000 HP. This car is a new Bugatti Chiron. It was just recently shown to the public at the Geneva show in March. This car is nothing like the old model. Everything has been improved dramatically from the old shape. This car looks so futuristic compared to the old one, but it works well because technology is changing so quickly it fits in well. It has got a lot more horsepower than its previous model. Nothing is the same. They're completely different cars but from the same make. This is the McLaren P1. This car is basically replacing the old F1 that everybody loved. This is the modern version to the P1. This is a car that is ridiculous. It's got a great amount of horsepower. It's not that much compared to its opponents, but it works well because the car isn't heavy. This car has so much technology. It is always trying to find little ways to make you go that little bit faster. This car has got so much little bits on it. When you get in it and you take it on a track, you're gobsmacked of how good it is. It has a thing called ground effect. Ground effect is basically a vacuum underneath the car so you can grip and stick to the tarmac better. The last car we'll be introducing will be the Ferrari LaFerrari. This is the best model Ferrari has ever been built after the Enzo. It boasts the most extreme performance ever achieved by a Ferrari production car and features the most advanced and innovative technical solutions which will, in the future, filter down to the rest of the Ferrari range. The Ferrari is very good competitive to the P1 because they're very alike but different also. Cars and hypercars. Koenigsegg were found 25 years ago. They've been making the beautiful, elegant supercars right from their start. Koenigsegg have always built fast cars. Their cars have always exceeded over 200 miles per hour. This company is based in Sweden. It's got world-class engineering. The person that is the creator of Koenigsegg is Christian von Koenigsegg. Him and his team built their first car in 1994. He wanted it to be the dream supercar. Christian was only 22 years of age. Hennessy. This company had been making fast cars since 1991. Before they made the Hennessy Venom GT, they were just a normal company that tuned sports cars and made them fit in supercar territory. You're probably thinking how? Well, they changed parts to the engine, changed the main things that would make a difference, then would ask you what package you prefer and then you choose which one you want. This company built a supercar/hypercars and they made it to destroy the Bugatti, which it did. They're based in Texas and they still tune different cars to this day. Bugatti. Bugatti are a massive company that builds amazing cars which are powerful, elegant and beautiful. Bugatti built its first car in 1898. They built a new one every 2 years. Until 1963, after that, they built a supercar called the EB110 in the 1990s. In 1995, they got bankrupt. In 1998, Volkswagen took over Bugatti. Bugatti wanted to come back so strong, so they decided to get two 8.2 V8 twin-turbo engines from a Volkswagen. They thought that let's make this into one engine, so it became 16.4 V16 quad-turbo engine. Ever since, they've been building super hypercars since the late 90s. They've recently built a new car called the Chiron. It is the best build that have done so far. They only make cars that can easily do 1000 HP plus. McLaren have probably created the most iconic car after the Ferrari Enzo. McLaren first launched their first ever supercar in 1993, which was called the McLaren F1. It had 3 seats, one was in the middle and 2 were behind it. 2 years after launching this, they launched the F1 GTR. This was built to participate in the Le Mans series. The F1 is still an iconic car to this day. McLaren have been drawing supercars and hypercars and race cars for the last 50 years. The P1 is the best build they've done so far and it starts off another iconic car for them. The P1 is built from a race-bred technology, pioneering innovation and our celebrated obsession with detail. Ferrari. This company officially started in 1974. They built the Ferrari headquarters in 1977 and it's still standing there to this day. They've named it Maranello. This is where they build all of the beautiful, fast and elegant cars. They get built here. Ferrari exports around 95% of its output and it presents on 60 markets. They have 200 dealerships worldwide. The best car Ferrari has ever built is the LaFerrari. It has so much horsepower. It's such a gorgeous looking car. It's got so much technology inside the car. Ferrari has done a fantastic job building this and it will definitely be an iconic car. Made lots of noises. Hypercars are kind of the same, but they're not as well. Hypercars have the big V8s, V10s and V12s engine in them, but they also have an electric engine in them. So when they're in town, they can put it on an electric model. It doesn't harm the pollution. In fact, when it's in hybrid mode, there's no pollution at all being produced. When you take a car to the track, you put it in race mode, you combine two engines together. The two amounts of horsepower and torque combine and you end up unleashing a beast. Another thing big manufacturers are using is they are making their hypercars out of carbon. The reason is it's a lot lighter, it's a strong metal and it saves you more fuel. It takes your MPG up to like 40%. The best miles per gallon with the best range with the hybrid engine out of the 5 cars I've chosen in this documentary, the winner is McLaren P1 with 34 MPG. It's only got 3.8 litre V8 twin turbo and that produces 727 brake horsepower. Already they're cutting down their engine sizes to not make pollutions get any worse. A hypercar and a supercar are very similar animals. People can drive supercars when they get a Ferrari F12 at the showroom, but a hypercar is on a different level. These cars are extremely expensive, that they make much power you cannot imagine what it feels like. They have options and little buttons that make the car become more of an animal. It makes the hair on your arm stand up, that's how much of an animal it is. All hypercars are bought to be built topping up over 200 miles per hour. You may say supercars can go over 200, but not all of them can. All of the hypercars that have been built can go past 200 miles per hour. The reason is cars get strapped down to make them go as fast as possible. Hypercars shed so much weight you can't imagine. They make sure there's no unnecessary weight to the car. Some of the hypercar options are door handles. The main speed-focused hypercars don't have stereos or racy. Some of these cars have stereo as a standard and some are optional. Some of the companies want to make serious race car, so they will literally strip to the shell and add all the pieces they really need that the customer wants. Not all of the big main companies are making hypercars, but if they are, they're not exactly making many of them. My opinion on all of these cars, I like all of them. They're all beautiful, handcrafted vehicles. They're all different in their own ways, the way they look, the way they work, and their specification. If I could choose one car, it would be the Koenigsegg 1-1. I love everything about this car, and it's so rare. It's such a beautiful looking car. The weight in this car is absolutely shocking. This is my favourite hypercar out of all of them.